What up, Dynasty players in the house? It's a Dynasty front office. I'm your host, Jesse Schneeman. Please like and subscribe. And I'm here with the three best friends that anybody could ever have. How y'all doing tonight? Mike Casper. How are you? I'm sorry. Professor Major Mike Casper. How are you doing?
What's up, Jesse? Good to be here.
When you leave the Army, are we going to have to call you civilian Mike Casper?
We'll see. I mean, I'll be in the reserve, so we can still go major.
Oh, you keep your rank.
Yeah.
What is it? Oak leaves for a major?
That's the gold oak leaf, yeah.
Oh.
Damn cold. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ice. Oh, speaking of, I'm gonna wear this today. Got my commission ring.
Oh, no.
Your commissioner ring?
That I got for free.
And the auspicious Austin Bell. How are you tonight, Austin?
I'm lovely, man. How are you?
I'm great. Great. I just spent last Friday at the Eagles Super Bowl parade. It was amazing.
I know. What did I tell you, bro? I told you.
What?
After last week, we're not talking a
I have to give
single
you
thing.
stories from the parade, though.
Nope.
I saved somebody's life. He was passed out. He passed
We
out.
don't care. He was at an Eagles parade. We should have just left him.
I saved an Eagles fan's life. He was passed out in his own vomit on like a sewer grate.
That sounds so accurate.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That sounds like my Friday night Ubers.
It was the only time that I took off my mask. You know, I was wearing the Eagles.
You gave him
To
mouth to mouth.
No, I found this. Yeah. Hey, man, he looked like he really needed it. And he might have had some alcohol in his mouth. So, no. I found a state trooper, and I was like, hey, can you call an ambulance? This guy's not awake. At first, what I tried doing first was waking him up and asking him if he wanted some water. And he
I was going to say, you asked
respond.
for another
So I
shot.
poured some water on him, and that didn't help. So that's when I found the cop. And
How many
I mean,
airplane bottles was this in for you?
what's that?
How many
Airplane bottles of liquor. I don't know. I brought an army of them. I was passing them out. I had them up my sleeves. So anytime somebody like impressed me, I'd give them a bottle of tequila or whatever.
Did you throw him one when you left?
That
That had to have impressed you.
It did. My main man, Chad Mendoza. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm great, man. Could have done without the image burned into my skull of you giving mouth to mouth to some degenerate Eagles fan at a parade. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. Glad to be here with you guys, man.
All right. Last thing I'll say about this parade, it was amazing. They did an amazing job. But and there's no place in the entire world that I would have rather been. And that being said, never again. I don't care who wins what. I'll be watching at home. It was a lot.
Yeah, I don't like people nearly that much to go to that.
So how have you been, Chad? You're on vacation this week. Did anything fun?
Yeah. No, I haven't done anything. No, I've been sleeping in late. Hanging out with the boys. I went to Target today, so that was fun. Bought a vacuum. That's really about it. Vacuum is nice though. Really nice vacuum. I enjoy it a lot. I've already used it once, so it's been good.
Big dad energy there. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's actually the vacuum. It's the exhaust where the air comes out of when you're vacuuming. Usually it like shoots out or something from the top, or air's got to go somewhere, right, from the suction. And this one has like an air freshener built in, so it freshens the room while you're vacuuming. It's like the greatest invention of all time. I was like, why has nobody thought of this before?
Huh? That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
So vacuum always smells like shit, sucking up stuff from my kids.
Yeah. So I'm way too excited about this stupid vacuum.
It'd be hard to
Already
follow
derailed.
So speaking of following that, Mike, do you have a couple of prospects for us tonight? Who's the first one?
Yes, we do. So we'll start with Devin Neal. He's a running back, y'all, from University of Kansas. He's 5'11", 225 pounds, 21 and a half years old. His college dominator was 34.4%. Yards per carry was 5.8. His target share was 10.4. And in 2024, he had 219 rush attempts, 1,266 yards, so 17 rushing touchdowns, and then 24 receptions with 254 yards. Spent all 4 years at Kansas. So take it away, gents. Tell us about Devin Neal.
Austin, what you got for us?
First, I'm gonna add to those stats. He had 4,000 rushing yards in his career and 5,000 all-purpose yards. So he's been effective. His freshman year wasn't a ton of usage, but it was some. And then sophomore year on, he was 1,000+ yard rusher each season. One of my favorite backs in the class. I hate he's getting the hype he's getting. Was hoping to get him in that mid to late second, which I guess is still possible. But good size. Doesn't have elite top end speed, but does have solid burst. Really good vision through the hole. Works well between the tackles or out wide. Quick feet. Honestly, there isn't much I don't like about him. That stutter step he does is ridiculous, and he doesn't lose any speed while he does it. As someone who watched a lot of Christian McCaffrey, his dead leg looks really similar to Christian McCaffrey's. It's one of my favorite things while watching Devin Neal. He almost like ruined a couple people's college careers doing that stutter step dead leg. It's pretty insane. If you haven't watched it, it's fun to watch. But yeah, one of my favorite guys in the class. Hoping he doesn't get too early of capital, because I could see him going into the first in the rookie drafts.
What do you think, Chad?
I don't like him at all. His name's way too similar to Evan Neal, and I hate that.
That's a trigger name for Giants fans.
So every time I hear Devin Neal's name, whether I'm watching Kansas or people just talking about draft prospects, all I can think of is Evan Neal. So I hate him.
That's all you got?
That's some real Mike analysis there.
That really was.
Won't be drafting that guy.
All right, so I guess I'll give my 2 cents. One of my favorite backs as well. How that man moves the way he does at his size is pretty amazing to me. Like Austin, the fact that you're comparing him to Christian McCaffrey at all, I mean, he's not as electric, obviously, doesn't have that kind of explosion, but he's so much bigger than McCaffrey. He's at least 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So he also runs with power. He knows how to use that size. So that the combination of moves, agility, vision, power, really impressive with him. He's got a good burst, and I'll be interested to see how all these guys test with their long speed at the combine. But he's a guy that, if he tests well, if he tests better than anticipated, he could definitely get like high to mid second round in the NFL draft.
Yeah, I'm expecting low 4.5s, which is fine. That's all I care about. Give me sub 4.55 at that size, and I'm totally fine with that.
And I'm hoping I like a 4.45 out of him.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome, but I don't think he's got the top end speed for that. I think he'll do much better in the agility drills. I think he could test really well in that. And I could see his 10-yard split in the 40-yard being really good. But from what I've seen, I don't see that top end, that 21, 22 mile an hour speed to get into those 4.4s.
Right on.
Actually, just to add something here, I do agree with most of what Austin was saying. That's why I really didn't add much. But the one thing, just because he sounds like a Hall of Fame player when you guys are talking about him. The one thing that I really don't like about him, I kind of disagree with Jesse a little bit. I don't think he plays his size. I think he goes down way too easily. So that's just one thing. He plays a lot smaller than he looks.
I actually agree with that. I don't think he does really well, like pushing a pile.
Yeah,
like being 220 is what they say. I mean, he could be at 210 when the combine comes, and it wouldn't shock me. But yeah, he doesn't fall forward or get those extra 2 or 3 yards that you see from those bigger backs a lot. But he does have enough power to break a tackle. Like that, I do see that, but I don't see him pushing piles forward. So I think both of y'all are somewhat correct.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, if he there's a little bit of a struggle there with him where, in games where he's not playing at his best, he struggles to really see behind the line, in my opinion. So I'm gonna be really interested to see, if he ends up on a team where the line is particularly bad, how he handles that, and if he's gonna have some games where he's really sitting at some negative yardage or seeing a lot of negative yardage throughout the game because he is a little bit indecisive, in my opinion.
Interesting analysis. Something I didn't pick up, but maybe I'll watch a little more and I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch some more. So
yeah, okay, right on.
Right now, he's definitely locked into my top 5.
Oh yeah,
I like him a lot. I just wanted to throw some kind of counterpoints out there.
Yeah, I like that. I do want to watch it next time.
I would say at this point, just the way he moves is different than the larger backs in this draft. There's a lot of large backs in this draft, and like if you watch him compared to someone like Ollie Gordon or even like your boy Caleb Johnson, it's different. He's definitely moves like a smaller back. But it's funny you bring that up. If he comes in more at like 210, then that makes him more like Pollard size, and then it's not quite as impressive.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, next week? We'll find out.
Yeah, next week we'll find out, and then we'll find out. In a month after that, landing spot and draft capital. I mean, landing spot is definitely, with all these backs, just going to be so crucial because, I mean, let's just go back to Zach Charbonnet a couple years ago. I think Chad and I were the 2 highest. Mike, I don't remember where you were on Charb. Austin, you weren't with us, but we were pretty high as a podcast on Charbonnet, and then he got drafted behind somebody in the second round, but still has been a second back his entire career. So that could happen to any of these guys, really, except for Genty, I think. Am I right about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I will say Travion and then the guy we're going to talk about next, I would say have skill sets that are going to get them on the field no matter who else. Because they're not just like plotters or power backs or short yardage backs. Who we got next, Mike?
We have Dylan Sampson, running back out of University of Tennessee. He's 5'11", 190 pounds. A little bit smaller, but his BMI is still good, 26.5%. He's 20.4. His college dominator was 34.1%. Yards per carry is 5.8, and his target share was at 7%. Had a pretty good year last year for Tennessee. 258 rush attempts, by far the most in his career. 1,491 yards, 22 touchdowns rushing, and then just 20 receptions and 143 receiving yards. So young guy, but had a pretty big year.
Austin, what do you got?
He's electric. That's the most simple statement there. Analytics picked up a 4.35 in the 40-yard sprint from a dig. So pretty crazy speed. He was not officially clocked, but he was clocked borderline 23 mile an hour on a run. So the dude's fast. Good quick twitch on his cuts as well. Probably won't be used a ton as the in between the tackles guy and does like to kick it out. But with that kind of speed, that's really what you're looking for. I would assume you're not going to see a 3-down back roll for him, especially not early on. But I've seen a lot of the same comp for him, so I'm just going to bring it up and see what y'all think. James Cook coming out of college. I can see it, to be honest. I think he probably has a little bit more top-end speed, but the play style seems very similar. I like the guy a lot. Really, the offense for Tennessee went through him this year, and it didn't work unless it did, which is usually good to see. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a fun guy, probably going to be a top 10 guy for me in the class.
Chad, what do you think about that James Cook comp?
I like him better than I like James Cook. And I think I was a little bit higher on James Cook than most people.
Yeah, you were.
You were higher than me, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I like Sampson even better. I think he's a really good prospect, and I do actually see him as a 3-down back. With the way the NFL's going, obviously it's going to depend on the team he finds himself on. but I think there's the potential for it. I really like him as a player. I think his vision is absolutely incredible. With that speed and the way he sees the game, the way he sees the field behind the line of scrimmage, I think he has the potential to be a special back. So I'm excited to see the team he lands on and the opportunity that he gets. Because if that's there, then I'm probably gonna have a lot of shares.
I see it and I don't see it as far as the comp to James Cook. I see it as far as the play style. Definitely, I think he bounces it too much. He's got a tendency to bounce too much. He can definitely play inside the tackle, in between the tackles. The big difference, what I don't see as a similarity to Cook is the contact balance. He's got this squat kind of powerful body where I thought James Cook went down too easily in college, and then he had to learn a lot in the pros to get to where he is. He's changed his style completely. I really like Dylan Sampson though. Just to get back to him, just a number of good solid runs in a row you'll see out of him. Very consistent, reads the field well, and then boom, he'll break one out of nowhere, and it's against top competition. Tennessee's in the SEC, and I just love the kid. I do think that even if he gets drafted to a team that has another big name back, I mean, I don't think he's going to be out like Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley this year. I don't think that's even going to happen. But if he were to get drafted, say, like, for example, if Charbonnet wasn't there alongside of Ken Walker, I think he would easily earn carries alongside of Ken Walker. And like, if he were to have gotten drafted behind James Conner instead of Trey Benson, I don't think he'd have sat the whole year behind James Conner the way Trey Benson. I just think he's got a skill set that coaches are going to want to get him on the field because you never know when that long ball is going to hit.
Yeah.
What I'd like to know actually is, I'm sorry, Mike, I don't mean to exclude you. Have you watched any Dylan Sampson?
No.
Okay. Compare him to Jalen Wright that came out of Tennessee last year.
Okay.
I wasn't a Wright fan, so I would easily take Sampson.
I think he's much better than Jalen Wright. I think one of the comps that I really liked, I saw, I think it was Zerline. Don't quote me. I think it was Zerline said Brian Westbrook, and I really like that comp.
Okay.
Really like that comp.
Brian Westbrook is another player that had to change his style a lot when he got to the NFL, and really it took him 2 to 3 years. If you remember, that's where the original three-headed monster was. It was him, Deuce Staley, and Correll Buckhalter. And it wasn't until his third year that he had some NFL level vitamins and bulked up a bit, but he also changed his style. And he talked about what he learned was it's speed through the hole, not to the hole. So it was really just learning patience and vision and that kind of thing. But it's going to take Dylan Sampson a lot to get to where Brian Westbrook was.
Yeah, I think
as far as the raw skills go, yeah, I mean, it's there.
So the one thing that I like about Sampson a lot is, like I was saying, like his perception behind the line of scrimmage, I think is really it's already really good. As long as he's running in between tackles, he has like a little bit of that Saquon kind of thing going on. Obviously not nearly as talented, but if you remember when Saquon was a prospect and he was playing college ball, and you see it a little bit now too, on his outside runs, he tends to hesitate quite a bit, and especially back then, he would hesitate quite a bit, and he would take some of those losses. I see that a lot with Sampson. I don't really think he's that proficient of on his outside runs, but in between tackles, I really like his game. So it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, what team he lands on and what they expect out of him, because he is smaller, so it's going to be one thing always going to hold against him.
But so thick.
Jamie brought up a very interesting question that the Dynasty community ask a lot. Does the being sub 200 pounds scare you off of Sampson? And that easy answer is no. We've
Does
seen
it scare you off a chain?
or
Is
junior
he sub
kids.
200 pounds?
What I've seen is
Probably,
5'11", 201, but yeah, he'll likely come in at that 195 range, which is exactly
Okay.
where Gibbs was. So who cares?
I don't care anymore. There used to be that there was like a cutoff. You know, it was somewhere around 201, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. We've seen backs come in.
Yeah.
And that not really matter.
And the NFL is so different now. It's so much more about athleticism and speed. So
Spread and getting them in
Yep.
open space
Get them in
instead of just
space.
running into a wall. So,
Especially with every team has two safeties back. It's what you can do in the first 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah. And that Tennessee program is not one where I would say they're maxing out, college players' physical attributes like, you would see with Alabama or something.
Yeah.
Where if you see a running back at, 195 coming out of Alabama, you're like, is he really, with their program, is he really going to get much, more developed than that? With Tennessee, I'm not too concerned.
Oh man, what are you saying about Rocky Top?
No. I'm just saying, like, it's not that kind of program.
They have a good forestry program though.
Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you firsthand from my stepkid. Although he did, just real quick, last time we visited him, he told his mom one of his classes is they'll take him outside and he's got to name his teacher will point to a tree. He's got to name like the tree and the genus and all the Latin species and all that crap. And so his mom's like, okay, what's that tree? He's like, I don't know. And she's like, okay, what's that tree? He's like, I don't know. Awesome.
Perfect.
So glad you're going to a D1 school.
Well, you guys are getting your money's worth.
Yeah, not me. Right on. All right. Anything else on Dylan Sampson?
Nope. Next week will be so much fun.
Do you think he's as landing spot proof as I think he is?
No, because there are certain offenses and coaches that don't know how to use a player like that. I would love for him to go behind somebody that has a proven veteran running back to where he doesn't have to start off year one with the possible expectation of you're going to see 20 touches, but that you can earn 10 to 12 touches and possibly 15 to 20 if they get injured.
Like the Steelers, if they keep Jalen Warren.
Sure.
I just think he would be really good with Arthur Smith.
He would roll pretty easily.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna mind like what kind of offense he's on. I'm not too worried about that. I am worried about just opportunity, right? Like that's any running back. Anybody in this class besides Genty is gonna struggle if they find themselves in a certain situation where they're not really getting the benefit of the doubt right out of the gate. But with a guy like him, even in that case, I think it's okay because he has, a athletic profile where he can still do a decent amount with a little bit of volume. Hypothetically, of course, we haven't seen that too much, but I'm hoping that's the case.
I'm calling it now. I say he's a lock for early second in rookie drafts.
Okay. He's definitely going to shoot up after next
early
week.
Second for rookie drafts?
Yeah.
I think he's a lock for the first.
A lock for the first?
I think so. I mean, I think he's going to get good draft capital, so that's obviously all depending on that. But that's just how I see him. I like him a lot. So
goes to in the top of the third round to Tennessee. Kind of a really bad situation. You're still going to take him.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. I mean, no. Nobody's a lock for the first, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he's a lock for early second or better, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, it's all going to depend on the draft, right? It doesn't go into the fourth round.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of these guys go in the fourth, and it's not going to scare me off a lot of them, to be honest. There's so many good backs.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about, I forget who it was specifically, but they're like, he's probably going to go in the seventh this year, and if he was in last year's draft, he would have probably gone like the fourth.
Yeah,
because of how
it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I was I'm like still looking through some like profiles here, and 33rd team as a writer, I guess we'll shout him out by the name of Kyle Krabs. Thought you'd like this, Austin. His pro comparison for Samson is J.K. Dobbins, which is interesting. I've never really
I've heard that comp as well. Actually,
an interesting one. I haven't heard.
I think he's. I think he's more. He's not as big as Dobbins, and he's a little more electric.
Coming out of Ohio State, Dobbins was absolutely electric.
Yeah, pre injuries and everything.
Like,
he was
ridiculous.
Pretty incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not a bad comp. I just never thought of it before.
I've heard it, actually.
Okay.
All right. What do y'all say we talk about some free agents?
Let's do it.
All right. So, I mean, we don't really even know who all the free agents are. So we're just going to go through some names that we think could or could not be on the move. Should we start with the big name and just get T. Higgins out of the way?
Yeah.
All right. What's y'all's read?
I think he stays.
I think he stays.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Burrow will be very content if he goes anywhere. He's been extremely adamant to the public that he pretty much expects T. Higgins to be there next year.
And T even said he'd take a little less to stay, I think. So whether that's true or not, remains to be seen. But
did they franchise him last year?
Yes.
So
it's like $26.8 million this year, I think.
Oh, that's it.
Well, I mean, that's it. That's top 5 in the league yearly.
Yeah, but he'll get over 30.
That's about. I don't think he's going to see 30. Personally.
Oh yeah.
You think if he ends up on like the Patriots or something, he won't get 30?
I think
he would.
That's what Ayuk got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get it. Yeah. Just because of like Ayuk's deal.
Yeah, I think he'll get 32 or 33 if he hits free agency. But yeah, 26 is a bargain, I guess. I guess that's what they need to do is just tag him and then re-sign Chase and Hendrickson.
Yeah, I mean with the floor, I mean with the cap rising like it's going to be rising here, he might get over 30.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about, but yeah, it's
33 is what I just said. It's not crazy to me. It's open market creates.
Yeah.
Demand creates a price increase. That's the way it works. But if he were to leave, I mean, I think the Patriots are just willing to pay more than anybody else.
I think Washington might be willing to.
Yeah, they've got a lot of.
And the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I want to see personally, but
I know I want to see some good receivers around Herbert.
Yeah,
I'd like to see. All right, let's talk about Devontae Adams, wouldn't it? Because he's definitely going to be free agent. They've already said they're going to cut him. He would be really nice with the Chargers, don't you think?
What if he went back to Green Bay?
Yeah, there's been a little whisper about that. He's kind of exactly what they need, right? Just a number one guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Josh Jacobs is the one, right, that came out saying we need a number one. They were teammates in Vegas, so bring him home.
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully he hasn't burned any bridges. Who knows?
Aaron Rodgers could back up Love, like, you know.
That's hilarious. What would you guys pay for Devontae Adams then if he went to Green Bay?
Mid-second.
Mid-second? All right, that's not bad.
It's kind of where I'm going to be with a lot of these guys, to be honest, that 206 to 209 range.
All right, so let's talk about T and his value. He's more valuable just staying where he is than anything else, correct?
Absolutely. To me, yeah.
I think him to the Chargers might elevate me, to be honest. I think I would elevate because he's never going to be the one unless Chase gets hurt.
Is he capable of being the one?
I don't think so, but that's an opinion. So that doesn't mean that. I think with Ladd on the other side, that would help him be the one, is why I say that. Because he's going to need a good 2A to maximize his potential for me. So that kind of situation would be really nice. Whereas like New England, I don't like it as much unless they go and draft like, Tet or Luther in the first.
Chad, what's his value right now? Is he close to a wide receiver 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where would he be on your list? Like 14, 13?
I don't know exactly without going through it, and that takes some time. But yeah, I
In
mean
that range.
he'd probably be in that range. Yeah, like 14ish, I think.
So 2 late firsts probably.
No
Would that get it
chance
done?
I'm paying that.
No chance I pay that.
No.
Nope.
Chad?
Not right now, no.
But you wouldn't sell him for any less than that, right?
I'd sell him for the 107 right now.
Really?
Yep.
And what? Hope you get a Buka?
Warren, Henderson, Judkins. One of the quarterbacks could fall. That's why I said 7. It's kind of where my cutoff, 7, 8, where my cutoff is right now, pre-combine.
I think I'm a little higher on him than Austin is.
Austin's
Yeah,
never liked T.
I've
Higgins.
never been a fan. So yeah.
Mike, what you own T. Higgins, and I want him. What would you ask me? Ask for him?
I'd want at least a first and a second.
All right, done.
Late first and second.
Yeah, done. I'd pull the trigger on that in a heartbeat.
I think that's fair.
I think his value is too late first, personally.
I'd let you pay that.
You'd let me pay that? Okay, thanks for your shit.
I think it's a mid first, but like 105, 106. I think for me.
I'd take that for him.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think I could actually flip it for a better player closer to the draft.
Yeah, but I actually think his value goes up if he leaves and goes to one of the more needy teams and has a shot at being a legitimate one. And that's saying something, because that Bengals offense is so so concentrated in the passing game, and there is enough volume there for 2 potential ones in any given season, hypothetically. But I think the perception of you being the second guy on a team also just decreases your value, because there is a cap there with it, unless Chase gets hurt. So if he can find himself on a team like the Chargers or even New England, which I think would be also a pretty positive scenario, if it works there in New England, right, his value's skyrocketing. Because I do think he's a really good player. But of course, with any move, it has to work, right? So if he's able to be the one in an offense like San Diego,
LA
or
New England.
then yeah, I think that's a big value bump in my opinion.
Okay, that's cool.
Thanks for the help.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, bud.
This
T or Rashee Rice?
T
or Dunze?
A Doomsday.
Yeah, Doomsday.
Yeah, Doomsday.
That's a wash for me.
All right, 2 quick running backs: Kyron, JT, or T, either one.
JT.
Kyron
is,
and then T Higgins over JT. T Higgins over JT for me.
Okay.
Kyron's kind of it's roster dependent. If I really need a running back, I'd probably trade T for Kyron.
Okay. Yeah, the market looks about right. KTC has him in between all those guys, so seems market's at they have him at wide receiver 16.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, so trying to find actual relevant guys to talk about here and not just talk about the washed up guys. We talk about
Amir Abdullah. We haven't talked at all about him, which is surprising.
Deontay Johnson.
Is Godwin actually going to be healthy for the season, or is he's going to take some time?
He's gonna set a record or something stupid.
Yeah, I really want him to go back to Tampa.
Oh, I think he's going to be so good no matter where he goes, really.
Yeah,
So.
He's such a good player. He's like one of those guys that, like, if he's healthy, he's
just
well.
ridiculous.
That's my question. Is he going?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't have any shares left, so I'm really
Yeah,
worried
me
about it.
He hit such a spike earlier in the year that I kind
No,
of
it's ridiculous. He was the wide receiver 1, wasn't he? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it was particularly close either.
no, it was like 20 and 30-point games every week, pretty much.
So are you trading for him?
This offseason, probably in a few leagues, I'll probably give it a go. See if I can get some shares.
We can try and get him for
Oh,
I'm
I
sure,
have
like,
no idea off the top of my
I'm
head,
sure
but
early second, mid
Early
second,
second.
might be able
mid
to get
second
him.
is what I'd try to do, like during
Yeah.
the draft type process.
cool.
Maybe even like depending on how, because this class is fairly deep in certain positions. So if people start falling in love with these running backs, you may be able to get them pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So there hadn't any kind of injury update that I can find. The last thing was mid-December. He said it's going good, but that's it. I mean, that's all we got.
Thanks.
Yeah, no news on those kind of things. I mean, sometimes can be a good thing. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
Any interest in Nuke, Keenan Allen?
not really.
Not really. No.
No.
I mean, they'll be fine on your contenders, most likely. Just have them as a flex play here and there, but
But we're not trading for him.
no, I don't.
I'd rather have a third than Nuke, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not on my big time contenders. I'd probably rather have the points.
I would too.
I don't know. You look pretty washed. Hollywood?
He's interesting.
That one interests me a little bit. Yeah.
Late
He's only
second?
27 still. Yeah. That's probably all I'd want to pay.
Yeah, I wouldn't give anything more than
Problem
that.
is if he goes and signs somewhere of interest, then his value could jump pretty quick.
I assume you'd give one of the second round running backs from last year, like Jalen Wright or Trey Benson.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My boy Blake Coro.
Matter of fact, I might go send Jonathan Brooks for him right now. I love that idea. I'm about to do that right now.
For Hollywood?
Yeah.
I feel like you can get better than that, can't you? Really, is Jonathan Brooks' value just?
I mean, they've already announced he's not playing this year. They came out this week. The team announced that he's expected to miss all of 2025.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
What's his value then? Like a fourth?
Jeez.
I mean, a third. That's what I'm saying. I would love to, if I could pull that late second value out of him, I would be thrilled.
Yeah, nobody's going to give. Nobody's.
I think there's a real chance they draft an early day 3 guy like a Dylan Sampson, and Jonathan Brooks is struggling for touches in 2026.
I think there's a better chance that they take a late guy, just a backup.
Day 3. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, day 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people say day 3, I hear round 3. Deontay Johnson, do we want to give anything for him?
No.
He's just too much of an
Is
idiot.
he even going to find a team?
That one.
I mean, he played, 4 of them this year?
He's on team like 8 or 9 already, man.
He'll be on a team. I don't know if he'll see the field, though.
I thought he signed back with the Ravens or something like that.
They signed him for a compensatory pick. That's the whole
It
reason.
literally doesn't matter at this point where he
They're
goes.
gonna, if he signs anywhere, they'll get a 5th, which is exactly what they sent to trade for him initially.
Nice to get their pick
and
back.
it also prevented him from being able to play the rest of the season. Yeah.
Sucker.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I think he's probably a pretty nice target. What is he, 29?
30 and a
Maybe
half.
30.
30.7, yeah.
He was ultra productive everywhere he was until he switched teams midseason. That's a tough situation for a guy.
I mean, receivers switching teams midseason don't work out a whole lot.
No, it really doesn't.
Even free agents going to new teams, wide receivers don't work out too well.
If they have an off season with the team, I'm fine with it. I'd rather have him. Would you rather have him or Hollywood Brown?
Hollywood.
Mike,
Hollywood, yeah. Pretty easy.
Chad, Amari Cooper, or Hollywood?
I'll just take the swing on Hollywood.
I think I would just take Amari Cooper for the past production. No, Amari Cooper's just always been hopes and dreams and rainbows.
In Hollywood?
What
Is
did
that
I
what
say?
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, no,
Because
I
at
would,
31, that's kind of how I feel he's going to be all
like
hopes and dreams and rainbows.
Amari Cooper's just been production, where Hollywood's always been unicorn farts, basically. It's my new name for him.
Got
Unicorn farts Brown.
See a question in the chat from Jamie. He said, who would you rather have, Worthy or Pickens? I think I'd rather have Worthy.
I think I'd rather have Worthy too. Pickens scares the shit out of me.
I'd rather have Pickens.
His
Yeah, me too.
antics piss me off. I just don't think it's going to end well there in Pittsburgh with him.
I just don't think Worthy is really that good, but probably the
You
lowest
never
on
have.
the
Yeah,
list.
you never have.
That's true. I don't like UT guys either, but I think he's all right.
I mean, I'm a UT fan, so like, I just don't think he's really that good. I think.
Yeah, you never have.
And I'm not really huge on Pickens either, but I think Pickens' upside is larger, in my opinion.
Yeah, with Rice coming back, it's just a lot of question marks in that offense.
Yeah.
Worthy's got a quarterback where Pickens has got garbage. Worthy's got a quarterback and one of the best offensive coaches in the league, and Pickens got Russ, Fields, and Arthur Smith. So,
Might have Daniel Jones. Who knows?
oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel Jones fed neighbors.
I've seen Daniel Jones tied to like 4 different teams in the last week. So
Yeah, I know. I just saw a random post with him in a Steelers uniform. I was like, okay, sure.
All right, here's a little fun fact. Did you know that George Pickens is Bo Jackson's great nephew?
Did not know that.
Learn something every day.
I don't even know what a great nephew is. So
It's
It's
like
a step above a nephew.
it's like your grandfather.
Great nephew.
It's like your grandfather's brother.
it's like your favorite nephew.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
your favorite.
Oh, he's just an
You-
awesome nephew.
Yeah, he's a great one.
Your grandfather's brother would be your great uncle. You would be the nephew.
Yeah, so he's great.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Whew. Getting deep tonight.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
getting
counted
deep.
that.
Did
Ready
we bring
for
up Stephon
running back?
Diggs?
Oh, Diggs, yeah.
I don't really want to bring up Stephon Diggs because
You named all these terrible players, and you don't want to talk about Stephon Diggs?
he tore his ACL. I mean, is he going to be anything?
I mean, I would assume he's going to sign somewhere and probably play somewhere.
It's just an ACL. It's like a stub toe at this point.
It's like a 9-month stub toe.
It's better than a high ankle.
I doubt we see him to start the year. He's going to miss all of camp. He's going to come in. He's going to come in out of shape, and I just don't think he's going to have a good year. But if you guys want to pay more than a third for him, go for it.
So one thing that I thought was really interesting, though, like he went in the 20th round of our dispersal in the league we just had. Like you had Damian Pierce going ahead of him. You had
That's crazy.
fourth round picks going ahead of him.
Wow.
Luke
crazy.
McCaffrey, Keyshawn Butte.
But this is in an extreme situation where these guys are trying to all rebuild and be young.
Yeah,
So-
but
Well,
you
yeah,
get
but
It doesn't
you
matter what
rebuild,
situation
want
you're in, you can
value.
trade
Like,
him.
he's worth
Yeah.
more than a fourth, third.
I'd pay more than that for him right now,
Right?
and let alone in season. So
I was just shocked, and like Amari Cooper went in the 19th round, so
yeah,
there's
that's
three
crazy.
three person dispersal, so everyone knows it's not that crazy, but yeah, like 19th, 20th, 21st round. I was like, that's wild. Some of the guys that went ahead of him, to me,
Yeah, that's wild.
like I still think Diggs is pretty good, but we'll see.
Is Keenan Allen going to play football this year?
probably.
Probably.
I have no idea. I haven't seen any reports on him or anything, so I don't know. I haven't really been paying too much attention, to be honest.
All he can do is really like walk out there and stand. He can't run anymore.
I think Brandon Cooks will retire.
Wasn't there like reports that he came in like really heavy or something in the offseason?
Yeah.
Who? Brandon Cooks?
No.
No,
Keenan Allen.
Allen.
Ian Allen, yeah.
Maybe he gets his stuff together and comes in shape and ready to go. Who knows?
Maybe he likes buffets. I do.
Yeah, buffets are great.
When I'm on a cruise.
Actually, I don't really like buffets. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't really. It's only when I'm on a cruise. Yeah, I don't otherwise really go to buffets.
I like Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good.
But does that
I'm going
count?
this weekend.
Is a Brazilian steakhouse a buffet?
I kind of think it is because like you've got the salad bar thing that's like a buffet style, and then you've just got all these meats, and just
I guess
over
yeah.
and over and
So
over.
just bring it to you. Maybe a little bit more of sanitary of a buffet.
Yeah.
So I went to an Italian Brazilian steakhouse one time. It was an Italian restaurant done in that style where they walk around and serve you. So we were really excited for it. I went with a group of friends, my fiance at the time. And it was so disappointing because everything they walked around with was pasta.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna make a joke saying, yeah, like they tricked you with the steakhouse and they just walked around with spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like they were walking around with different kinds of spaghetti, and the meatballs weren't even good. So it was like, I was hoping it would be like, different kinds of steaks.
They ground up the steak into meatballs.
It was terrible. And like in the Brazilian steakhouse, they have them on these big skewers, and it's a nice presentation. These guys are walking around literally like with bowls of pasta.
Yeah. They just have the different steak cuts that they bring out, but they're all like minced into meatballs. Here's filet mignon meatball.
All right, I think that concludes our what? Oh no, we have one more. Mike's favorite player, the coup de grace, Cooper Cup.
Oh.
Look, it is Mike's favorite player. He's like, oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I was like, my favorite. I was like, Jerry Jeudy is not a free agent. Yeah, I honestly would love to see him in Denver.
In Denver,
I thought you were going to say retire. I was going to say me too.
I think you would play. I think you would play perfectly.
So I think he'd be really valuable to like
No.
for a run blocker, like for Team Broncos, not fantasy.
No, he would play the power slot perfectly for Sean Payton. I would love that. That would be great. But of course, perfect things never happen, and when they do, it never works out right. Remember when we thought Sean Payton would be perfect for Russ?
I didn't think that early on because I knew they were button heads, so it was pretty relevant early on.
So, what do you want to pay for him?
Cooper Cup?
Yeah.
I want to pay a third.
I mean,
if he winds up in Denver, what are you paying for him? First or first plus?
He already has all the shares. He can't pay any.
Yeah, I'm already at 83% shares, Chad. So
would it break your heart that Devon Vele's career would then be over? Kind of.
They're about the same age, aren't they?
Oh, wow.
I would like him in Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Jesse was supposed to ask me these guys I wanted in Carolina. Didn't ask a single player that was the whole thing last week. Is like, hey,
No, you told me not to do that.
Wait, you guys rehearsed this thing?
Yeah, we did last.
Some
week.
of us do that.
Yeah.
Austin and I do this thing for the show. It's called Prepare.
Yeah,
I prepare too. Just 5 minutes before we start.
Is that why you're?
That is true. What are we doing again this week? That's what I always hear. Chad, look in the chat. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
One name I do want to bring up that I think is going to surprise people what he gets paid is Darius Slayton. I know it sounds like a terrible name, but there aren't many speed guys available in this free agent class, and he's shown that he can be a capable deep threat. So I think he's going to get more money than we expect. What that means relevancy for fantasy, who knows? But we also felt the same way about Christian Kirk when he went to Jacksonville and he became relevant. So I'm not trying to say they're the same style player, but I think Slayton could surprise people with some kind of usage.
I think that's another really good name, actually. Like Christian Kirk. I read there's about a 70% chance that he gets cut.
I think he could go back to Washington to Kingsbury.
I saw that too.
Oh, I would love that.
Ooh, that'd be a great spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'd fit in really well in Philly too. He could really use
Go back to the place you were never used, or go back to the person
Yeah.
who never used you.
What, Kirk in Arizona? I think he got targeted, didn't he?
Did he?
I mean, apparently decently because it got him $21 million a year. But
Yeah, true.
What was his seasons like? Maybe I'm misremembering, but I just remember him not being, very volume heavy out there in Arizona.
Just remember how crazy his contract looked when he got it.
Well, I mean, that's why it looks so crazy.
Yeah, but now it doesn't. It was $16 million a year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in retrospect it's a bad contract at all. I just think a lot of people thought it was at the time.
And everybody knew at the time that Jacksonville's got to overpay to get people there.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go there.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah, gosh. Gabe Davis. That's Chad's favorite player.
I saw Gabe Davis referenced as a reason that Jacksonville is able to cut Christian Kirk. Because they have a number one, and then they have deep speed in Gabe Davis.
Right.
So it's like, come on. They do have the number one. I'll give them that. But
speaking of crushes, Elijah Moore going to his third team is going to start being a stud.
Oh, is he?
Deep sleeper.
He's not even 25 yet. We're good. Still got time.
He's not?
Nope.
Jesus.
Wow, that's true. Yeah.
So his time is here. Just get him out of Cleveland.
I
mean, he's been two terrible places, the Jets and Cleveland.
He's gonna be retired by 27. That's nice. That's
probably
a nice
go to
life.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably will. That's probably exactly where he'll go. Go to Vegas or the Giants.
So Christian Kirk in Arizona, he never had a 1,000-yard season.
What did he get for targets?
But his highest targets were 108 in 1 year, 103 in another year, but in between that was a 79 target season, and then he had a 68 target season as well.
Yeah, that's not great.
He didn't have Kyler the whole time though either, did he?
Not the whole time.
Did he have the Josh Rosen shit show and all that?
Well, Josh Rosen never even played for them, right?
What?
One season,
really
yeah.
Dude, he was awful.
He did actually play a season.
Yeah.
I locked that out of my memory.
Kirk only had 1 year without Kyler, right? Yeah, 1 year.
Oh, only one.
Because Kirk was a rookie the year before Kyler came out.
Yeah, with Rosen.
All right, so Washington would be a terrible landing spot.
I mean, no, you can't really say that, but
I mean, McLaurin looked great.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, 100 to 120 touches is going to be fine at the wide receiver too.
I'm starting to wonder if he can beat out Diami Brown now.
Okay.
Diami Brown. I thought he was going to be good too.
I did too, actually.
He went to the wrong school.
Yeah, he did.
Jamie asked if we have any hope for Brendan Rice still. I mean, I'm not cutting him. I don't really want to.
Forgot he existed.
It's not like the Chargers have a lot of weapons now. Now, if they go and sign and draft two guys, then you get worried. But it's somebody you can hold until training camp goes through.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm no. Unless it's like a super deep league, he's probably getting cut.
I think Burden is actually this is Jamie says, imagine if the Commanders get Burden or Ibuka. I think Burden is a really good fit for their system. I think he'd play great with that OC and that quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll make it to the late 20s, but I agree. Or mid 20s, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think Christian Kirk to the Patriots would make a lot of sense. McDaniels definitely knows how to use that kind of player.
Yeah, that's fair.
So what's he worth to you right now? Mid-second? Yeah.
No, I'm not paying a mid-second for him.
Wow, you would not sell him to me in season this year for 2 seconds.
Well, yeah.
And he's just fallen that far because he got hurt. Just because he got hurt.
Maybe he just doesn't like you.
He's the same player.
Awesome.
That is true. Austin does not like to trade with me. That's true. But no, you ended up keeping him and not trading him at that value. Actually, I think about it.
Yeah, but at that time he was a wide receiver 1. when that trade
he?
was going. Yeah, he was a wide receiver 10 at the time.
Yeah. And sometimes
well,
it's personal.
So it's really you wouldn't give more than a third.
I wouldn't. I mean, I might give like 211, sure.
I think
At
I
that
heard
point,
God
who
here.
cares?
I think
Yeah, like who cares at that point?
Christian Kirk. I mean, I think he's more valuable than that. I think he's worth a mid-second. I think that's the tipping point for me. I think the mid-second is where I wouldn't want to.
It's not like so like the problem is it's not Christian Kirk versus a mid-second. It's a mid-second versus Christian Kirk and the alternative that you can get during draft hype, right?
Right.
So like in a
Jalen
vacuum,
Royals.
like yeah, fine. You know, a mid-second would be fine, but I'm looking other places before I set my sights on Christian Kirk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so would you rather have Cup or Kirk? Because
Cup.
that's kind of what. Me too.
Kirk.
Oh wow. Okay. Hollywood or Kirk?
Kirk.
Okay. Godwin was too high. That's about only guys.
Hollywood's kind of never done
mid-second.
anything, though. I mean, not as of late, right? So it's kind of tough to.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't really have an argument with that one.
The league is going to have to validate for me that Cup's not washed. So someone's going to have to either trade for him or sign him like to a prominent role.
Yeah. No one's going to trade
a good offense. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to trade for him.
Because they know the Rams are going to cut him. So
right.
Yeah.
Is anybody nervous about Puka being by himself?
A little bit.
Bring anybody in?
Yeah, I really hope that they're not that, full of hubris that they think that they can just go with one wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm really nervous about that, and that's coming from somebody I think the world of Puka. I think he's one of the most talented players in the league. I really really like him.
Sure, but most defenses can take one weapon away.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like when Kirk's on the field, even if it's only sporadically throughout the season, that's a big help. Taking away some pressure. So it'll be interesting.
This one's not even close for me. Flowers or Adunze?
Adunze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're just about at an hour. We're gonna have to do running backs next week.
Well, I know how much you like them. You don't want to talk about them?
I don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, nah, we just don't have time. I'd like to actually do it some justice. We have a million weeks until anything actually happens, so let's just do it next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
McMillan or Pearsall? That one's easy.
That one's not
Pearsall.
easy for me until we know about Godwin.
I like Pearsall, but
even if Godwin doesn't resign there, Pearsall for me.
Yeah, I like Pearsall.
And I like McMillan. I thought he showed good things last year, but
yeah, we got to find a way to stretch this content out during the course of this season. We're gonna have to next week maybe we can stop.
If we do an hour on running backs,
27.
I'm leaving.
No, we'll have more stuff next week. We're gonna rip Pokemon packs on here.
Oh snap!
No, I'm kidding. That's a different podcast. All right, we're gonna talk about, I guess, just what we watched in the last week. Chad, just an update. I had to stop watching Severance to come start the podcast.
Oh, okay. Whew.
It's so good.
I'm watching
It's
it.
really good. It's.
I told you, man. I told you it's so good.
And I'm only through 4 episodes.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
It definitely does. So I binged all of season 1 and caught up in this past week.
Oh, it's still coming out?
Yeah, the season 2 is out right now. Like it's happened. It gets released tonight.
Came out today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So actually, as soon as we leave here, I'm gonna go watch.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Severance, Jamie.
She's like, she hates you guys right now.
Just tell me Petey's okay. Oh no, Petey's not okay.
Petey's okay. Petey's great.
Yeah, Petey's okay.
He works in the local tea shop.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he's serving out espressos and Earl Grey tea.
Actually,
as long as they have their token.
I saw the Dogman movie. Little Petey's all right. There's PD and little PD.
You saw the dog. Oh, you have 15
I
kids.
saw it with my son. It was an awful movie. Gosh.
It looks terrible. What's the
Oh,
appeal?
it's bad. Well, there's just all these books, and he likes to read illustrated books. And
How old's your son?
he's 11, but he's a really good reader. He just doesn't like to read long chapter books.
Yeah.
What if that movie just ruined movies for him forever? He just never watches another movie.
He kind of liked it because
Did he?
Because parts of it is like the book coming to life, right? So
Yeah.
I always enjoyed that as a kid.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
I started Breaking Bad. Actually,
Oh,
You've never watched
I've
Breaking
my
Bad?
favorite show of all.
I'm not gonna lie though, it is slow as fuck.
Dude, it's super slow.
It is slow, but
It
God,
is
it's
so
good.
slow. Like I'm in the middle of the second season now, and I'm just like, ugh.
It's one of
Go.
those shows that you always think that things are going to be okay, and it never is.
Yeah,
It's
so-
I
just
love that
never,
show.
it just always gets worse.
I like that show, but there's a what's her name?
Skylar.
Tax. Oh,
Oh,
man,
I
she
hate
makes
her
it so
guts.
hard to watch.
she
she
really
does.
does, man.
Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to bitch about her constantly. when I was on.
Yeah.
There's certain like points in time where I want to watch a show and then I remember her character and I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the kid a lot. What's his name?
Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman.
Just
No,
his kid.
Walt's son.
Oh,
Walt Jr. Walt Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his.
Well, but he's going by what's the name he's going by? He's just like changed his name that he's
Did
going
he?
by.
Oh yeah, he
because
does.
they
during that
start
time.
calling him something else
Yeah.
at school. It's by Finney or something like that. Oh, something
Oh,
weird.
Finn.
Yeah,
It's to be called Finn. That's right.
I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. Some of it's just so funny now.
Yeah, Jamie, Christopher Walken is in Severance.
Oh yeah, yeah. His character's interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched
man.
The Court of Gold, Netflix.
What is that?
Oh, the
Going over the
USA.
Olympics, Team USA basketball. So they had Canada, Serbia, and France, along with Team USA. Netflix got to record during the Olympics. So it's like in the locker room and everything. Like it's pretty wild.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
I'll
definitely.
definitely watch
I've
it.
watched it twice. I mean, I'm a basketball head, so it came out Tuesday. I've already watched it twice.
You watched it twice, dang.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
That's crazy.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I love basketball, so I could watch it constantly. But yeah, really good.
That's as many times as I've watched Super Bowl 59.
Nope, we're not talking about that. Just
Austin just straight shuts me down.
I'm telling you, bro, it's over. I gave you a whole episode. That's all you get.
Oh my god, I didn't capitalize.
Oh, was that the episode I missed?
And
Yeah.
he talked about it with
Luckily.
Oh,
Memphis,
thank
so,
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Austin said that numerous times. How lucky you guys were last week.
yeah.
He's like, let it out, let it out.
Oh, Mike, you didn't.
Yeah,
do it
no.
It was just me.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on that grenade like Captain America. there.
We
That's
heard that
awesome.
was on the docket during our intense preparation for the
And I was like,
podcast. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
preparation.
I was on like 5 pages of notes, and then I heard Phillies, and I was like,
Yeah.
Nah, he did all right. Not good, but he did all right. It wasn't too crazy. It was pretty bad, but not too crazy.
Oh, Jamie says, "Did you know they're bringing back Malcolm in the Middle?"
Oh god,
I
why?
didn't watch it the first time.
Did you guys see that? That Malcolm is the dude that was like in the middle. He's a race car driver now.
Oh yeah, I did see that. He finished 10th at Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona. Yeah,
That's
which
crazy.
is crazy impressive. Yeah,
That
like
is
super
very
impressive.
impressive.
I saw that in
What?
his road game commercial.
Yeah,
He's also has a road game commercial where he races cars.
Like
What's
that
his
is
name? Like Frankie
extremely
something?
impressive.
Frankie Munoz. Yeah,
Yeah.
Frankie Munoz. Yeah, he raced at Daytona and finished 10th. I was like, "There's no way that's the same guy. How can he do two incredibly impressive things in his life?"
totally
I mean,
did.
race car driving is just
That
about
is
having the
wild.
money and being either having
No.
balls or being
500 miles
It's having
going
the money
190 mile an hour.
and either being stupid or having the balls to do it.
But it's extreme endurance. I think you're understating how hard it is to turn left at 190 mile an hour for 500 miles.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
extreme.
Your
endurance.
body stuff. is
That's like,
crazy.
that's like you saying like the what is it called?
Wrestling speak, anybody can do it.
No. I was gonna say the Iron Man. All they're doing is jogging and swimming. Anybody can do that.
Yeah,
I
Lance,
can jog and
Lance
swim.
Armstrong. I rode a bike.
deal.
That ain't
Yeah.
that.
I can ride a bike.
I've been on
We
a
all know how
bike.
to ride a bike. Why can't we can all do the Iron Man?
I've rode in a boat.
All right, this has been Front Office.
Peace.
Later, guys.